Just wanted to let you guys know, if you do leave a like on the video, subscribe with notifications on, then you will have good luck for the next 5 years. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Bryghton here for Bryghton Talks Tech. And in this video, we're going to be going over the Samsung Galaxy Tab A, which you guys have probably been familiar with the Samsung Galaxy Tab, but you probably aren't really that familiar with this one. This one's a bit different, and it came out in 2019. So we're going to go over specs, details, why you should buy it, screen resolution, display, everything, even the camera on this. And you guys are going to see everything, and it's coming up right now. Okay, so we did purchase this a few days ago, and I was quite impressed with the amount of features and things it had in the Android OS. So right now, as you can see, this is what it default looks like, and the screen, I just want to start off with the screen. It is actually pretty impressive of a screen because the screen is actually 1080 by 1200, which is like a laptop screen, and it is super sharp. If you guys can see this right here, it's super sharp how it is, and it really works fluently. And something about this, the screen, is that it has a 60 Hz refresh rate, which means every second it refreshes 60 times. So unlike the iPad Pro, which refreshes 120 times per second, this is 60 times, but it is still smooth with the animations, as you guys can see here with the swiping animations like these. It's very smooth with them. And I know that most people know this about Android OS, but something that really did impress me, because I'm not a daily Android user, I use an iPhone 11 on the daily, so I'm not very familiar with Android OS. This is actually pretty big of a tablet, and you can see over here that it has the feature to optimize its memory and storage. So with the memory and storage, we did purchase this with 128 gigabytes of storage right there, and then the memory, we have 3 gigabytes of storage right there, which is not bad, because usually the low spec computers have 4 gigabytes, and if you're looking to do gaming on this, it would be perfectly fine, because 3 gigabytes of RAM is more than enough for most AAA games, and on mobile mostly. But I was going to test this out with Fortnite, but you guys won't be able to really see it, because Fortnite has been banned from the App Store and the Google Play Store, sadly. So we won't be able to do a test like that. But some tests that I want to show you are like an internet test, how fast it can run with the internet, how much it's different than using another thing like an iPad Pro, and some other things like that. So coming in at $200, this tablet is super cheap, and I think of it more as a budget tablet because it has some good specs and some really good things about it that are pretty surprising about them. And really, I think it's actually pretty good because the size are about 7.5 millimeters, as you guys can see here, and it's pretty thick, but it's not really too big. And most of it is made of aluminum on the back, but as you can see up here, the small strip across here is made of plastic for the antennas, and on the bottom here there is no strip as well. So it comes with a USB-C port and many speakers, as you guys can see over there, a lot of speakers, and a USB port that charges pretty fast, and I'd say pretty average for a USB-C, because USB-C charges super fast. And something that really makes me confused is how did they get such a good screen on this, because it's actually really good, and it's surprising on how good they got this screen, because if I show you guys how the screen is, how fluent it is, it doesn't look the same on camera how it looks in real life, because it is super sharp. And like some Macs have this type of screen, 1920 by 1200, which is actually a super crisp screen that comes in very great. So something I also like with this was, I'm not an Android user, so I would like this on Apple, which would be super nice, to optimize your storage and memory right from the home screen as a widget. If you could do that on Apple, that would be super cool, because you can see the memory over here and the storage, and it'll just optimize it the moment you tap this. So I did optimize this before, that's why it's not optimizing perfectly right now, but it's actually doing pretty well right now. So really, I'm just going to show you guys how fast we can do some things. For launch speeds, we're going to go to... Okay, so launch speeds, we're going to start off with the Play Store right here. So I'd say it takes two seconds to load up this page, and then 3 seconds to load up all the apps with here. About 7 or 8 seconds, maybe even 9 tops. But this is with a really good internet speed, because we have really good internet right here, right now. So you guys can see the speed over here. Stuff to launch like settings, it'll come in pretty good. And so this tablet actually does feel pretty premium because of the aluminum on the back and the feel of it. But we're going to get into the camera just now. But it feels pretty premium, like a tablet that costs a lot more. But it's actually packed into a $200 one with good screen resolution, a little bit of a good camera, and really just some features that I really didn't think that were that good at the start. Then now I'm starting to get into them and learn more about them. Another thing that I liked about this is that you have your SIM card slot over here, so you can put in your SIM card and you can put in an SD card if you wanted to. So it's right over here, and you can see right here, that's it. So you can put in your own SD card to expand your storage on Android, or just use it like a normal SD card, how you would use it on a computer. So that actually makes it really nice, and it'd be cool if Apple could incorporate that into the new iPhone, because that would persuade a lot of people to buy the new iPhone, because usually they don't want to pay for that much storage, and they have an SD card lying around. They just pop it into their phone, and then you have more storage. And then here we go. So here is the camera right now. It does come in pretty good. So you can see right now, if I put my hand in there, it comes in pretty crisp, but it is not as crisp as a 12 megapixel camera. So you do have HDR mode on here. You have stuff like the timer. You can change settings. So you guys can see over here the formats you want to put it in, screen optimizer, high efficiency. You can change the video size. Pretty much everything you would get regularly on an Android operating system. So really, you have over here, you can change the zoom down here at the bottom. You can change something over here. I think this is the scene optimizer, which is pretty cool of a feature to have on a tablet. Not a lot of people take pictures on tablets, but I'd say the camera is super good for this with an 8 megapixel camera. Okay, so it has an 8 megapixel camera on the back, which is this one right here. That's actually pretty large of a camera. And then on the front, it has a 2.0 megapixel, which isn't that too good of a camera, but it is actually something pretty good for a tablet with $200. And I think overall this is good for the size, because it has pretty good size. If you have a large hand, you'll be able to fit your hand around it and be able to grip it pretty well. It is pretty large. I'd say 9.5 inches for the body, and then the screen is just about 8.5 inches. So it's about an inch for just the bezels. The bezels are pretty small for the sides and the top and the bottom, but overall I think it's a good fit if you're looking for a budget tablet. So also, if you don't want to get something like this and you want to get something with the Apple operating system, I would recommend the closest thing to this, to even compare to this, is the iPad mini. And I'd say the newer iPad minis instead of the older ones. Or you could even compare this to an iPad Air, because it's not bad for its price. It has some pretty good specs, 3 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, all jam-packed into this $200 tablet, which is actually pretty good for its price. So if you guys are thinking about picking this up, there will be a link inside the description below, and you guys can go get it there. So here are the specs. We're just going to run it down really quickly. We have the 1920 by 1200 pixel screen, and it is pretty good. It is super good, actually, and it has really a nice display. I think the display is the best feature, in my opinion, for this. You could maybe be able to do some gaming on here if you wanted to, but I wouldn't really recommend it for gaming. It's more of a normal one for like web browsing, using YouTube, stuff like that, and having apps on it, because it works perfectly fine by using those, and it works super fast with those. So it has 3 gigabytes of RAM. I think you can get higher than 128 gigabytes of storage, but this is 128 gigabytes of storage for $200, and that is really, really good that you're getting that for a tablet like this. So if you guys did like this video, please remember to leave a like on the video, subscribe down below with this button right here, and really, if you guys do want to pick this up, remember there's a link in the description to an Amazon link, but they do sell these on like stuff like Best Buy. You can buy them at other places like Target and stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.